what is mulerian agenesis, or what is MRKH? What does it stand for? What does it mean in layman's language? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and my name is Julian Peter, God's special daughter, your MRKH queen. And today I'm going to give you a brief introduction about me, how I am here, and how I got here. So I'm 31 years of age, born with MRKH, and MRKH means I was born without some of the reproductive organs, or completely the reproductive system was not there. So MRKH, we have two types of MRKH, and we have MRKH type 1 and MRKH type 2. In MRKH type 1, it affects the reproductive system only. And then we have MRKH type 2, which affects the reproductive system. It affects now the renal system, and also might affect the skeletal system. And mine is now on MRKH type 2, whereby I was born without the reproductive system, and it also affects my renal system. So I have one kidney, which is whereby we have now the two kidneys joining together and forming a U-shape kind of kidney, but it is doing a very good job. Keep that in mind. And then we have now my reproductive system, which is not there. The uterus wasn't formed, the vaginal canal wasn't formed, my ovaries are nowhere to be found, or they might be somewhere moving around in my body, but hey, it's life. So that's it. I was born with that, and I found out at the age of 17, and I believe I was very young, and life revolved around education. And I remember crying for 2 to 3 days, and I stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. So I still wonder till to date why they kept me in the hospital for 2 weeks with no information, with no treatment and all that. So I remember and the doctor saying that you have a certain condition, and I really did not understand what mulerian agenesis meant, but I understood that I lacked some of my body parts. Like I usually joke, I usually tell people maybe God decided to have some parts, or He created me, and when He was closing me up, after closing me up, He remembered, like, wow, I have forgotten something, but He was like, let her just go, she will survive. Anywho, so I missed some body parts, and I remember crying for continuously 3 days. I would see my mother and break down. I can't even place something on why I was crying, but I would really see her and just break down. But the doctor also said I still have another life, and also seriously at 17, I really needed to go back to school and continue with school, because when I was in the hospital, it was during class time, during school time. So I needed to go back and finish up with my school. So life continued, and I went back to school. I continued with my studies, finished my high school, and that is now when life, it really hit me that I was different. And I remember starting to go to church, because I always prayed that a miracle would happen, just somehow, somewhere, wherever. I just wake up and it was just but a terrible dream. But with time, I came to discover that it wasn't a dream, it was my truth, it was my life, and it was something that I was supposed to live with for the rest of my life. And I started my journey, I started my research, and I was able to understand what mulerian agenesis was, and that is when I learned about MRKH type 1, MRKH type 2. But the better part of this story is I met beautiful, sisters around the world, and we are able to learn together. We have walked the journey together. We are able to speak what we may not speak to someone who might not really understand what you're going through. But every single journey has its ups, its downs. Sometimes we cry, we laugh about it. Like, it's a journey that you just have to go through it, because most of the times we as Africans, we as a people, we sweep everything under the carpet and it's forgotten. But it is important you learn to speak about it. You don't have to shout to the world, but you can learn to find people. Open up, lighten up your mood, and learn about who you are. So that is me, 31 years, born with MRKH, surviving with MRKH, walking through the world, and making the world a better place to live in. See you soon as we learn.